Meanie.
Who?
Blue Meanie.
Blue Meanie. What about?
Is it true that he directed the China and Sean Waltman video?
No, I can't see that being true. Being that it was just China and Sean doing it. I don't know. Can't say it. Unless he edited it in post production.
Funny.
I don't know.
Stanford.
Yeah.
Julian again wants to know doing a shoot promo or shoot, and I got my quote fingers up in case anyone can't see. Made by CM Punk a few months ago. Do you think he mentioned ROH in New Japan Wrestling just because he cannot say TNA?
Why couldn't he say TNA? I mean, the one he did for WWE?
Yeah.
He mentioned ROH and TNA? Or ROH and New Japan?
Yeah, I did.
That's all. First of all, they know. They knew he was going to say that. Because nothing gets on the air without Vince McMahon approving that it gets on the air.
And Kevin Dunn.
Yeah. B, the only reason that they did not mention TNA is because they don't want to put TNA over as anything. They just don't even want to bring it into the light. It's not for any reason other than they just don't want to put them over. Because when you mention a company, you don't want to, you're putting them over as a legitimate threat or a legitimate, competitor. And I think that's just Vince just saying, fuck you, we don't even acknowledge their existence. Just Vince being Vince, And I don't think Vince, since CM Punk has ROH in his past, notably, I think that's why it was allowed to be mentioned. Yeah, that's why I think it was allowed to be mentioned. And, it's really not a threat to Vince. Not that TNA is, but there's really no reason to bring TNA into it. Why acknowledge something that doesn't need to be acknowledged? And I don't blame them. They're the shits.
Nimbo Slice with a great question. How in the world did Ahmed Johnson get a bigger push than you in WWE? The rest of it, is it because of his color?
I think a lot of it was because of his size and color. Sure, of course, because Vince always is looking to appease every walk of life, every race, color, creed. Hence the Portuguese gimmick. Even back in the 80s, early 80s, when Vince Sr. was running it, he'd have an Irish wrestler. Like when Hulk Hogan first came into it, They wanted him to be an Irishman. Hulk Hogan, yeah. It was in his biography as well, the E! True Hollywood Story on Hulk. That's what Vince Sr. wanted him to do. Originally, Hulk, when he came in 1980, the first time, wanted Hulk to dye his hair red, to be an Irishman, like a Sheamus kind of a gimmick. Vince was always big on that because you're attracting, it's a national, you know what I mean, Indian, Native Americans, Italians, Bruno Sammartino, Latinos, Pedro Morales, Savio later years, me with the Portuguese gimmick. So yeah, they're always looking for ethnicities and racial differences. So of course, his color had something to do with it because they wanted to push a black man, to appeal to a black audience. And his size had a lot to do with it because he was just a freak of nature. He was just a huge. He was got a push whether he was black or white. Doesn't matter. He was just a freak. But his color certainly had something to do with it. And I always got along with Ahmed. I worked with Ahmed, but he was just his attitude, just a poor attitude. Just didn't understand the business. Thought he was Superman. Thought he should win every match, no sell everything. Just delusional. Just didn't get it. Just didn't get it. It was fake, not real. It's like Hollywood, dude. I think Tommy Dreamer has the best attitude towards the business because, Tommy Dreamer would wander, and I bring this up because of the fake thing that I just mentioned, but Dreamer would walk into it, hey, yeah, we're hardcore ECW, it's all fake, guys, don't believe it. He'd say that to fans, like as a joke, like people think, oh, you're kidding, Tommy, but it is, dude. If you take it lightheartedly, I mean, you gotta take it serious to a degree, but it's grown men in tights pretending to fight. I mean, you have to have a sort of, you know what I mean, a humorous. You just can't take it too seriously. It's the circus.
How do you? Maybe this is a question that hasn't been asked before, and I'm going to ask it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan.
Sure.
So I can ask these questions. I'm logged on.
Yeah.
DW Raja, that's me.
Yes. Didn't know that for a couple days.
Yes. How can you work with people? You take hits from these people.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. Walk home at night and still be their friend.
They're doing their job right. They're not really hitting you hard. Believe
Chair
me.
shot. Really?
I've
Nothing?
been through wars with what appears to be wars with Tommy Dreamer, and we've both walked out happy, smiling, loving each other more because we put on a hell of a show, and we suspended the audience's
Now you're making this
disbelief.
into a three-way between you, Dreamer, and Raven.
It's true. I mean, Tommy and I would make it look like, with barbed wire or the appearance of barbed wire and certain props. You are taking some shots. I mean, you do have to bite the bullet on some things. I'm not going to fake it and say that it's all easy, but for the majority, I would say 80% of what we did was pretty okay with it. I mean, some riskier things, but those things we would do on certain days, pay-per-views, big shows. We there's a formula to entertaining a crowd, and we knew our formulas. We knew what worked, what didn't work. That's being an educated entertainer. You know what works, what doesn't work. A popular artist goes on tour for how many, 100 shows. You
Stones.
think they're singing with their, Grammy performance voice, or they're doing a house show voice. You gotta sort of pace yourself. And we learn to pace ourselves when the audience is up, or when it's a payoff to a big feud or a television show or a pay-per-view show. You have to up your game. But when it's a house show in front of 500 people, not that the 500 people don't deserve a show, but you realistically couldn't kill yourself every night like that. Doesn't mean you can't entertain them. I would go, and I remember in Louisiana we did 4 days, which was rare. We did 4 days. Two small towns. The other was Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and and we would give them 20. I was a world champ. I would give them 20-minute matches, but it's what I did in those 20 minutes. They were still getting action, but I was taking bumps that I could take that I knew wouldn't kill me or hurt me too bad. Entertaining them, I wasn't, walking and talking and not tying up and like walking, you know what I mean, taking a powder and going to the back. No, I was wrestling, but there's a way to do it. Like I know what I can do and I know my limitations, and I know what I can do that hurts and I know what I do that doesn't hurt. But the fans don't know that, you know? And I just found formulas that I could give the most with saving the most. You know what I mean? With taking care of myself. And I think we all have that formula to this day. I can give you a 30-minute match and an exciting match with false finishes and oohs and ahs, and you wouldn't know that I'm not getting, even to, count the bumps, probably 5 or 6. I know how to entertain without killing myself, and I think any good worker can. Hence Ric Flair's longevity. You know.
Next, great, great answer. Sorry,
Thank you.
we just,
And look, the ratings are up because of it.
yeah, we're 26.
Yeah, through the roof.
Pac. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Pac for a second.
Yeah.
Is he still dating Ryan Shamrock?
No. I don't
Did he
think
ever?
so. Yeah, he did. He actually
Good for him.
He had a real. No, he was really. He really cared about her. Actually, I don't know. I didn't really talk about this with him, but through mutual friends, I'd heard that he and her had a very serious relationship, and he was very much in love with her at one point. And I don't know what happened, or I don't want to comment on something I don't know about, but I know that things didn't end up too good. But I think it was he was in Mexico when that happened. So I think she was in Mexico too, if I'm not mistaken.
How were your matches? Did you enjoy your matches with Steve Corino?
I loved him. I loved him. Corino and I had great chemistry. We rocked every fucking night. He's a pleasure to work with. Safe, entertaining, smart, edgy. Just he was. I would love to work with him again. He was that good. He was somebody very underrated in our business. He's not in WWE, but somebody who was very underrated. Even though he got the big push in ECW, but people don't give him enough credit.
Did you do the Extreme Wrestling gimmick with him?
I did for MLW. Yeah, it was me, C.W. Anderson, Barry Windham, Corino, and I forgot who the other guy was. Maybe Simon Diamond.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, Pat. Yeah. Very cool.
Is C-Dub gone now? Is he done?
I don't know. He's another guy, very talented.
Yeah.
Very talented. All right, we're almost at the 8 o'clock mark. I don't want to go longer than an hour because then it'll be hard to chop up for YouTube.
All right.
So we'll take
how'd
one
you
more
get-
question, then I got a shitload of plugs for all 25 viewers.
Wow, we got a shitload of questions here.
All right, let's take the best one, and we'll save them. Come back on Monday, dudes. Please.
Let me
should.
read them all real quick. Wow, people ripping on my equipment here.
Sorry, guys. It's better than my Android phone one version of the show.
I don't like that guy. Who is he? Who's blocking him?
That's funny. All right, come on, let it lull.
What do you think of Johnny Ace getting so much airtime these days?
I think it's terrible. I think John Laurinaitis does not need to be on television all that much. Not that I'm sure it's not even it's not his doing, but I just think it's, you know, you're creating a character. You're giving a character like him TV time when you have so many other people that you could just use on television, even for a role like that. So, I mean, I could see that why they're using him, because he's an experienced guy who's the vice president of talent relations, legit. So, I mean, it's the easy way out, but I just hate giving people like that TV time who really are, you know, don't need it. That's all.
You're getting family plugs on here from Monica?
Oh, yeah, that is my cousin.
She is on here. She
Hi,
says
Monica.
Many kisses.
Hi, sweetheart. Oh.
And I've
Sweetheart.
got one request
Yes.
from somebody else. If you would do the tagline before you bail out tonight.
Just Incredible?
Yeah.
I have to. All right, I'm going to close it out. I'm going to give you all my plugs, so just stay tuned for this. Please follow me on Twitter. That's at PJ Polacco. Facebook is Real Just Incredible. And I have working with a promoter in Portugal. I know everybody's going to laugh at this, but it's kind of like a bring Aldo Montoya to Portugal thing, and it means a lot to me that, you know, I want to go to Portugal and wrestle. I've never been to Portugal to wrestle. I've been there to visit, but it's facebook.com/the Aldo Montoya. So go on there and just say, hey, bring Aldo to Portugal. It'll just make my life easier and get me paid. Yay. And what else? The YouTube channel. We're going to put this up on YouTube sometime today or tomorrow. So check it out. It's youtube.com/the real Justin. Is it real? Is real just incredible? Not the real. Just real just incredible on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And tomorrow I have a show, FTW Wrestling in Long Island. If you want to see more information, if you're from the area, ftwwrestling.com. Please check it out. And from Dean and myself, that's not just the coolest, that's not just the best, that, my friends, is just incredible. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace. See you next time. 7 o'clock, Monday.